Your instructors? From the centre?
Cheer up, Terry. We're your friends. You remember me? I'm Gordon.
Gordon. Yes. And the other one? I knew him, but from where?
It's gone 6:30, I'm afraid. I'll have to leave you with him.
Yes, of course, Doctor.
Nurse Thompson's just across the corridor. Don't hesitate to call for her. I'll see you tomorrow, Terry. Familiar faces, eh? Means you're on the mend. Good luck. Hope you can jog his memory.
We'll do our best, Doctor, and thank you very much.
You know me, don't you, Terry? Shame, isn't it, about modern architecture? So dull. No signs to save you, are there? No beams. Gordon, I think we've jogged his memory.
I think we have.
That's it. Try to remember. Watch the door, will you?
Okay.
Always finish a course of treatment. Any good doctor will tell you that.
Come on, come on.
Don't panic. Right. What's your name? Your name. Come along, your name. Your name. Now, try to remember. Try. Come on, try to remember. Try. There's no trouble this time. Right. Then we'll begin. And we'll begin from nothing. From forgetfulness. You will forget the farmhouse, the things you saw, and the things you heard. Forget Kurtz and the kidnap. Forget Jensen and forget the code. You'll forget everything, except the night you spent outside. You remember, you got out of your sleeping bag, you left your rucksack on the ground, and you ran and ran in the dark in the middle of nowhere. It was terrifying, wasn't it? In the middle of nowhere. Couldn't even find a soul. But you don't like to think about that now, do you? You want to go home to Mum and Dad. I don't think you'll be visiting the Peak District again, will you, Terry? And when I say the words, you won't forget that, when I say those words, your mind will clear. There you are. There's your witness. The boy who saw everything and knows nothing.
No, keep going. I want him put through it so that they hear the correct story.
If you don't mind, I have a train to catch. Get out of this godforsaken district.
Not before the treatment's been tested.
Look, he was halfway there, poor kid, a sitting target. Or do you want his memory completely shattered? Saw what he was like when you came in?
They must hear the story so that we can be sure.
Why not leave that sort of thing to me? It's time to be going. If you had any sense, you'd be on the train with me. Grown fond of potholing, have we? Going to take it up.
Richards, they all know something's going on. We only got Jensen back just in time.
And now everybody's watching everybody else disappear and the finger points at you. And if I break cover, we could lose the lot. Don't you see, just one alarm and they'll stop the launching. But once the lab's in orbit, we'll have got them.
All right. All right, play it your way. I'll start him ticking for you. Well, you better go and get the nurse, hadn't you?
Nurse? Nurse? Nurse!
Yes?
I think something's coming through.
Now, the very next time you're in this part of the world, do drop in on us and say hello, won't you? Up at the centre. You won't forget that, will you?
Now, Terry, tell us about last night for the nurse here.
Tell me, Terry.
Go on, Terry. Like you were saying, the dark and the cold.
I got out of my sleeping bag and I left my rucksack on the ground. I ran and ran, but I couldn't find a soul. I don't really like to think about it.
I understand. It's all right now. Hush. It's all right.
I want to go home to Mum and Dad.
All it needed was someone who had been with him the last 10 days, who could talk to him about the climbing and the potholing and lead up to what happened at the weekend. That's where his instructors must have done the trick. They've cleared away the cobwebs, all right. And the fantasies, I'm glad to say. Come in.
Terry!
Hello, Mum. Hello, Dad.
You gave us a scare yesterday, lad, I can tell
Has
you.
it all come back, everything?
But at least he remembers us, eh?
He's still a bit dazed, Mrs. Connor, bound to be. But he remembers, don't you,
Shouldn't
Terry?
have gone on that course. All those vicious toughs.
What toughs? Jacko's no tough. He mates, that's all.
It might be all right for some.
I'm as good as they are, any day.
No one blames you, Terry. You got lost in the dark. Would frighten any of us.
In the middle of nowhere.
Shouldn't have been out there, not alone.
I'm no weakling, Dad.
No one said that, son. No one's saying that at all.
You're coming home. Home with us.
I want to go home to Mum and Dad.
Well, that's all it takes. You see, Terry, didn't I tell you there are no monsters in the mind, just a moment when you lost the path? What's happened to your code, eh? And your Mr. Jensen?
Dr. Jensen?
Your Dr. Jensen and his code, eh? Where do they come in?
Don't know.
They come in some book you've been reading, I dare say.
He reads a lot.
Too much. Jensen, my foot. James Bond, more like. Come on, lad.
So sorry. I do apologize. Miss Howard, can I offer you a lift home by any chance?
I already have a lift, thank you so much.
Oh, that's a shame.
Besides, I don't know whether I trust that old jalopy of yours. It'll fall apart one of these days.
It already has, haven't you heard?
No?
Yes, I've been accorded a private limousine by courtesy of this place.
A ministry car? When?
Well, last week. Didn't you know that? My dear Miss Howard, your men must have been scouring the countryside looking for the wrong car. Don't worry, I won't tell a soul.
Transport, please. Is Bairstow there? Oh, all right. Tell him to come and see me first thing in the morning, will you? Howard here, security. 9 sharp. It's urgent.
No, no.
Terry.
No,
What is it?
no, no.
Terry, what's wrong? Terry.
Nightmares.
Aye, that's all it was.
Places. People. Worse than being lost, Dad. At Scout Camp. I was 13. I lost my way at night, but I didn't panic, Dad. I didn't panic.
Different this time. You said so yourself. You got scared. You told us so.
Yes, I remember it. But I can't believe it. I can't remember how I felt or anything.
That's because you don't want to. You've got too much sense.
You think I'm a coward, don't you?
No,
I'll be laughed at, won't I? Scared of the dark, scared of the dark. I'm not! Oh, how can I prove it?
There's more important things to prove.
Such as?
Not caring what somebody else thinks. Show your mates you don't care what they call it.
But I do care.
It's what you know happened that matters.
That's it. I don't know the whole story.
Let it drop, lad.
Terry!
Don't fuss. He's all right.
Not till I've got the whole story. Only then.
I want to know the moment Dr. Jensen's car passes through. Extension 17, that's right. Come in. Bairstow, you are 3 minutes and 25 seconds late. Have you anything to say for yourself? Last week, a ministry car was allocated to Dr. Jensen, is that correct?
I think so.
On what day did this allocation take place?
It was on Thursday.
6 days ago, and this department has not yet been informed.
Cars aren't handed out on my authority.
Mom.
I beg your pardon? Cars aren't handed out on my authority, Mom.
Dr. Jensen signed the chit in your office when he took the car?
I think so.
Every time ministry property is allocated, this department must be circularized. You know that.
Mom?
I could make a lot of trouble for you, Bairstow. But you're going to do me a favor. So I'm going to let you off. The car in question. You have the details concerning Thursday's allocation? The mileage, for instance?
Yes, Mom.
Fetch them.
Terry, Ron and Jack are here. They want to see you. Terry!
Tell him to get lost!
What? Right. I'm lost, Ron.
What?
I'm lost.
Oh, yeah! I'm lost too!
Ron, where are you?
I don't know! Where are you?
I'm lost.
I'm scared!
Me too.
Where are you?
Here. What? What's that horrible thing over there?
What, you mean that body?
It's a corpse, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Poor bloke. Died a bit young.
Yeah, died of terror by the looks of him.
Well, he won't be wanting the grapes then, will he?
Oh, no, he won't.
Must have been something rather horrible.
Your mug.
James!
Jack off! What? Leave off! Leave
Not
off!
until you tell us the truth.
Truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, about what really happened on your bivouac the other night.
Yeah, that big act, acting scared to get yourself into hospital. Now, we want the real story.
You reckon? You saying I wasn't scared camping out? Yeah, well, I wasn't.
Oh, well, we're all scared one time or another, Terry.
You was most likely scared, but you weren't camping out, right, Ron?
Yeah, right.
I wasn't exactly scared, just...
Terrified.
I was fed up, that's all. I was fed up with you lot, the instructors, the course, everything. I was gonna jack it in, go home.
Yeah, when was that then?
Sunday.
Yeah, when?
Middle of the night, of course.
Go on.
Listen, I left me things out in the field. My rucksack, sleeping bag, everything. That's when I got lost after that.
Terry, we your mates, you can tell us.
Honest!
Oh, you did nothing of the sort. Shall I tell you why? Because on Monday morning, your rucksack, sleeping bag and all were at the centre. Right, Ron?
Yeah, because I picked him up, didn't I?
Yeah. So, where were you that night, eh?
Brought you some breakfast, love. Try and eat it, it'll do you good. Your dad and I are just going to pop out somewhere. We won't be long. Auntie Gladys will pop in and see to you if you need anything.
You're quite right, Miss Howard. 51 miles in 7 days leaves very little leeway for the grand motor tour I claim to have done over the weekend, to my far-off hideaway and back. Very industrious of you.
How do you explain it?
Your industry?
Your mileage. It's 7 miles from here to town and back each day. That leaves 2 miles for Saturday and Sunday. Are you going to explain it?
I'll explain it.
Well,
I lied.
that's your attitude, is it, to questions of international security?
No, Miss Howard. It's my attitude to you. Your task in life, as I see it, is to curtail the freedom of people like me. My task in life is to escape the vigilance of people like you.
You think it's a game?
No. It's life and death. I'll go to any lengths for privacy.
Any lengths? Would you even sell a secret or two?
Not of any value, no.
But you'd withhold information?
Oh, certainly.
You're needed, Jensen. Must you take so much advantage of it?
I take the pressures, I deserve the privileges and the pleasures. Like lying to you.
Ah, but that's where you're wrong, Doctor. Your lies are my pleasure, because I'm after you, and I'm very efficient. So, if you're playing a double game, I'm going to catch you out, lies or no lies. Good morning.
Always at your service.
You know perfectly well that I've waited 36 hours for this interview, but you're a busy man, of course.
36 hours. How time does fly. Don't suppose you like raisins, do you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Do you? Oh, what a pity I've run out. Next time, perhaps. Bye now.
When the initial shock occurs, the experience immediately preceding it is in the process, so to speak, of settling in, of being filed, you might say. Then comes the shock and interrupts the process, and the filing never gets done. The memory has gone forever. It's no wonder one feels messed about.
He's been asking about the fantasies, Doctor. The name he was repeating, Jensen.
Oh, it's a curious thing. There is a Jensen in the news a bit. I read about him yesterday. One of the backroom boys to do with outer space and all that. Dr. Jensen, like the boy said.
But our Terry doesn't know anybody like that, surely.
Or by repute, perhaps. A radio broadcast or an article.
Could we tell him, Doctor? Or would it make him worse?
No. By all means, tell him he'll be relieved to know he didn't just invent the man. I'm sure that'll be a comfort to him, to know the man actually exists.
Yes, I'm sure.
Evans, please. Howard here. I want him shadowed, every step. And if he contacts anyone at all, I want them checked out and a full report. Use as many men as you need. Just make sure you don't lose him this time.
Terry, we're back. Terry? Terry? He's gone.
Nothing else I could do, really. People feeling sorry for me, saying, everyone gets scared, Terry, but that's not me. Someone had been messing around with my brain, and I wasn't having it. Didn't take too long getting to the peaks again. Some handy lifts. I had a break or two, but then I reckon I deserved it.
Hello there. Where are you off to? What's the matter? Don't you want a lift?
I don't know where you're going, do I?
Well, that's a funny way to look at it. I don't know where you're going.
I don't know where it is, exactly. Outdoor Pursuit Center, it's called. For climbing, potholing, that sort of stuff. I've done a course there.
But you don't remember where it is. I do, though. Come on, it's not far. Fasten your seatbelt. Going back, are you?
Pardon?
To the center, for another course.
No. Just to see some friends.
Oh, yes. Some of the instructors.
That's right.
Which ones?
Don't know their names. Why? You ever worked there?
No.
I thought perhaps I'd met you there last time.
Really? Sure I'd remember.
Is there a farmhouse place somewhere around here?
Dozens.
No, I mean an old place with beams inside in the walls running across.
Doubt it. Mostly stone buildings. Don't see much wood around here. Looks as if you're out of luck. This is it. Remember?
Yes. Yes, I remember.
Straight along the wall, the gate into the grounds. Well, nice meeting you. Till next time. Well, you never know.
What are those?
Raisins. You don't like them.
How do you know that?
Oh, I can always tell whether someone likes raisins. Just a knack.
But I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, have some and see.
Want some?
I always carry them.
I've met you before. I've met you in the farmhouse. I know your name.
Yes, Terry. Try to remember